This is Sean Sport in podcast form.
Well, if you want to catch all the cricket like me, you'll be watching the 5-Test series live on Fox Cricket. Available on KO Sports and Foxtel. 5:04, you'll be able to see the great man Brendan Julian talking all things about the first Test match.
Crikey.
BJ, oh my God, did you see this coming?
What happened?
Well, I'm so looking forward to the first Test match in Adelaide. That was a warm-up match.
No, it has to be, surely.
Jeez. I mean, after all those wickets falling on Friday and you go, oh, maybe this pitch is just too lively for everybody, and then India just settled in.
They did indeed. They just blew us away. I mean, really, they were like the hometown and we were like the visitors. The way that they... Well, to be fair, Australia bowling them out for 150, you probably thought that was pretty good bowling.
Yeah.
But from Bumrah's point of view, I mean, he's been superb. I mean, he pitched the ball up, bowled at the stumps, and you know what? It was our batting techniques were just found wandering. And, you know, we sort of saw that against Pakistan, against the quick bowlers, Harris Ralph. So they need to sort that out big time before they get to Adelaide. I don't think they're going to make any changes, but tell you what, we were found wandering with that technique.
What's the answer, BJ?
Well, what do you got to do with the batting side of things? You can't afford to just shuffle in front of the stumps and let the ball go. You've got to be trying to hit the ball. And I think they were just found shuffling across, didn't know how to play Bumrah. He's going to bowl short, straight, and at the stumps. And you've got to make sure that you're playing the bat with the ball. And I think we were trying to let a lot of it go, and hopefully, you know, they would bowl badly. But they didn't bowl badly. They caught well, and they put us under pressure.
You're talking about Marnus Labuschagne, who wasn't playing a shot at all.
Crikey.
Got LBW, Nathan. And I'd imagine just listening to that, you go, you're playing cricket with a bat, surely you use the bat?
Yeah.
Well, I would use the bat.
You would use the bat.
But the bat goes between my legs, and that's how I hit the ball.
Swing it or something.
But the thing about it is, even like bowling, right? I don't know, because I've bowled once at the Wacker. It wasn't good. That's when if you
Left arm smorgasbord.
If you're in space, you would look down and go, oh, there's a left-handed gay kid. So yeah, it was just terrible bowl. But like, as a bowler, can every ball be different? Because you know how to say he's really known for this. Can you switch it up every time, like in baseball when they do
BJ,
the calls?
yeah.
BJ,
Yeah.
what do you do?
Was that a question to me?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was for Nat.
No. The other
I mean,
person's
I
play
switch
cricket.
it up, but what do you do, BJ?
What do you think?
Well, what the Indian bowlers did is they changed the game plan. They knew the ball that was seaming around early on day one, so they pitched the ball up and made it straight at play. What we did in the second innings when we were bowling, when they scored 500 on, is that we bowled too short, we bowled a bit too wide. So that makes it easier for the batsmen to play. We just did not adjust our line and length, and that's what they need to do moving into Adelaide. You know, it's a pink ball test match. They've got to make sure that they can adjust their line and length. But at the end of the day, guys, let's be serious. It's all about the batting. Don't worry about the bowling. I mean, we bowled them out for 150. We should have put runs on the board. Marnus is out of form. Mitch Marsh probably hasn't played 3 or 4 weeks prior to this test match, and that's along with Travis Head as well. Then you've got a debutant opening batsman as well.
Poor guy.
So, you know, you've got a few errors there that they need to rectify. As I said, they're not going to make any changes, but we need to adjust and we need to do it quickly.
You know what, BJ, I never thought I'd say this, but David Warner being out of that side and not seeing him at the top of the order has really made the next guys up. And obviously Nathan McSweeney, he's a new guy and he's going to take a while to find his feet. But he's not an opener. But anyway, that's made the guys a bit more brittle at the top. That's what it seems to be. By the way, I'm not a big fan of his commentary so far. I hope he warms into it on your channel.
Yeah.
But
He loves
I can't comment. I can't comment on his commentary because I get in big trouble.
Yes.
But, look, I agree, but it's, you know what, that would have been tricky for David Warner. Don't worry about that.
Yes.
I mean, that wasn't easy for anyone. So, you know, they've got to sort of look forward it and make sure that they can turn it around. I mean, it's not a dead sum. I think it's great for the series that India won the first one, because I got the feeling if India had lost the first Test match, they were going to fall over. They lost their captain. They lost the bowler. Shubman Gill wasn't selected as well.
Yes.
Virat Kohli was out of form. So they've turned it around pretty quickly. They lost 3-0 to New Zealand. In India, don't forget. And
At
they
home.
came here. Yes, and everyone thought they were going to get towed up. So it's up to us to turn it around and turn it around quickly.
What are your thoughts about night watchman batsmen? I mean, we saw Pat Cummins come in last night and then just fall apart.
That's a terrible shot.
And then we're down with 3
What's the
down.
Night's Watchman? This is Game of Thrones to me.
Well, we've got 2 night watchmen, though. I mean, Marnus is batting like a night watchman at the moment, so we've put in 2 night watchmen. So, you know, hopefully...
Because for a while there we didn't use them.
So, BJ, can I stop you for a second? Just explain to Nathan what a night watchman's job is to do.
Because I'm thinking security guard. This is a guy that's like looking after the cars, locking up the gates.
Night watchman would sit on the train track and make sure late at night that people will get on and off the train.
Yeah, okay.
So what happens in cricket is they go in to defend the next batsman coming in, so they sacrifice the wicket.
So then it's carry over champ.
When it's close to stop, so
you're not
there's only a
playing
little
short,
bit
you're just
left.
defending them.
Yeah,
So is the
light's
Knights
fading.
watchmen, are they the dregs of the team or are they good?
It's normally a bowler.
Well, they're the bats. But see, it's normally Nathan Lyon.
Yeah.
So I don't know why Pat Cummins came out. Pat Cummins is a handy number 8, so I wouldn't have done that. I would have used Nathan Lyon. But Pat, obviously, the captain thought, I'm a Leicester player. I want to sacrifice my wicket.
But maybe he had the
Didn't
day
work.
shift. Maybe he wasn't working the night.
Maybe. Well, they're on strike. The trains up here on the East Coast are on strike at the moment, so maybe that's one thing that came into it.
It was a terrible decision and
It was a terrible decision
strike,
and
yeah.
a terrible shot. Hey,
Yeah.
BJ, we were talking earlier on about the IPL auction which followed. We were able to see that on Fox Cricket last night. Huge numbers as always.
Amazing.
No doubt. I wanted to know if you had any insight on how the coaches go on getting paid, because Ricky Ponting's coaching all over the world. JL was over there. And then second point to that is, have you ever tried to get a part of that IPL stuff? Because it seems like...
To get some of that money.
Yes.
Get some of that money.
First off, if you're a player at the moment, you just get on side with the coaches because they're the ones that are picking you. I'd be slinging like Ricky Ponting $100,000 for mate. You pick me up for 1.2 and I'll sling you 100.
I see what you're saying.
I like
yeah.
it. I like
like
it.
A bit of a
Survivor.
kickback, yeah.
I'm not saying that's happening. I'm not saying
You
that's
are.
happening.
You
but
did
it's
say it. You said it. I heard
Why
it. We're going
wouldn't
to play
it?
it everywhere.
Has anybody ever called you to coach, BJ?
No.
that's disappointing.
I don't think I'd be a very good coach. I couldn't sit there and watch them all the time. I don't know how JL did it. I mean, I used to say to JL, I said, mate, how are you sitting there and watching 5 days of cricket? That is just like full on. And then going throwing balls and then doing all the coaching and then,
Yes.
I can't do that.
Only a certain amount of us can take that much cricket in. Not everyone can do it.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it either. But look, that is phenomenal, isn't it? The IPL, the amount of money that's been thrown around, you can't excuse any player trying to get over there and try and put their name down and try
And
and get
also,
results.
any of those players as well,
Serious money.
I completely think that any of those players, during that 6 weeks from their money they're getting paid, they cannot have one complaint. You can
shouldn't complain. They
literally
won't
give them
complain.
no infrastructure. You should be able to sit them on the dirt and go, you live on the dirt for 6 weeks, and they can't complain.
They are getting treated
I'll
like
tell you
that.
one
mate.
thing.
Yep.
Well, there's one thing I disagree with it is that I'm happy with the IPL and the players to get money. What I don't like is when we go to Perth, we play the third one-day international against Pakistan and the rest 5 players. That annoys me because I'm thinking people are paying their money to come and watch Australia. But if that was for the IPL, you don't play in the IPL, you don't get paid. That's the difference. In
Pay to play.
Australia, you rest, you still get paid. You still get paid. So
You get
that
paid to
annoys me.
not
So
play
I'm
cricket.
all for it.
Wait,
I'm
how
all
do you get
for
paid to
cashing
not
in
play
and
cricket?
taking
Sign me up.
I'm
Sign
going
me
to be
up.
the best at
Get
it.
in the Australian cricket team.
That's amazing.
BJ, it's always
Love
an
your
absolute
work,
pleasure
BJ.
to catch up with you. We'll be watching all the action. We can see it live on KO and Fox Sports. Hopefully, there's a long day ahead of us and Australia bats out.
No.
No.
Let it done and dusted in 40 minutes. 40 minutes.
40 minutes, BJ, please.
Good on you, BJ.
That's horrendous.
It's been a controversial phone call.
It has.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
full on.
Full on. This
Love
made
you,
the
mate.
news.
Thanks,
Watch
BJ.
that. Bye, mate.
See you guys.
You'll be trending today.
Sean Sport in podcast form.
So much sport over the weekend, particularly last night, but I'll focus on a few that you won't hear in the news just yet. But you probably get a load of this guy, which is Elvis Smiley, who won the Australian PGA Championship.
Elvis
Sure.
Smiley.
Elvis.
Great name.
Elvis Smiley.
Nathan.
Great.
Any relation to
automatically
Liz?
You like him.
Liz's son.
Get out of
No.
town.
Choose Extra, of course,
Yes.
as you know, one of Australia's greatest tennis players. This is his second title that he's won. He's only young as.
Liz
his
Smiley called
early
her kid
20s. Elvis.
Elvis
amazing.
Smiley. What are the other children? Is there any? What are they?
Well, Sam's about to Google it while I keep talking, actually, and give us
Sam,
the
will you jump
information.
on Ask Ted? That's a search engine.
Is it?
Thanks. Yes.
Yeah, so well done to Elvis. Just love the name. It's like when you name your child Elvis, you're putting it out there, aren't you?
And you do.
It's one
Elvis
of the-
Smiley as well, you
It's
know.
just one of those cool names. Like, what's another name like Elvis? What is it? Like, it's Elvis, isn't it? That's
Elvis.
I don't think
Because
there's-
straight away you're under pressure.
Yeah. There
You're
we
under
go.
pressure.
What have we got,
What
Sam?
have we got, Sam?
One of 3 kids. Liz had 3. I think he's the youngest by the looks of
What are
things.
the
what are
others
the
called?
others?
Laura, Jordan, and Elvis.
Right.
Well,
so
that's a bit-
I just
Wow.
want
A couple of
to
normal
say
names.
something there right now. Amy, who's in a different generation to Sam, then Googled that quicker than he did.
Yeah, it's a great point.
You should lift your game.
Unbelievable. Ask Ted. Wasn't there for him when he needed it.
No, Jeeves next. Ask Jeeves.
Well done.
So that was really well played there. Of course, he had Cam Smith and Mark Leishman breathing down his neck too.
Yeah.
So proper
Wow, good on
live
him.
golfers
Yes.
who are getting paid hundreds of $1 million to play. So congratulations to him. We saw that Mary Fowler's taking a break from
Yeah.
footy
Oh,
at the moment, and she concentrated
Sure.
on herself and her partner and living the life. Why not?
I am addicted to those two. If I see an article about Mary Fowler and Nathan Cleary, I
Nathan
click on
Cleary.
it. I don't know. I'm really invested in their love, and I'm wondering, is this the start of who? Because I think who's going to sacrifice or change their career to be together? Because one of them, it's going to happen, and his dad sort of is making, his dad's like sort of suggested that this is going to be happening in the future. He doesn't know what's going to
That
happen.
one of them will have to sacrifice.
Yeah,
It's amazing. Well, we'll look at Nathan straight away. He's a 4-time NRL Premiership player,
Yeah.
so he's
Australia
achieved
famous,
a lot.
Australia famous.
Yep.
Mary Fowler, worldwide famous.
Yeah,
I mean, you've got to look at the earning
quite.
capacity.
What's
So,
the earns now?
I mean, obviously, she is going to be able to make a lot more money in England than she
Yeah,
would
no,
here.
no,
but would he still be able to make good coin if he moved
Yes.
to the UK?
Oh,
and
yeah,
played?
absolutely. He'll get paid a
Then
fortune.
that's the answer.
he'd have to move.
He
Yeah.
could do.
He'd have to.
The thing about
and she's
him
got
is
all
that
of her sponsorships
Yeah.
and stuff. Like, he's not going to get that.
he's been around for a long, long time, so I'd imagine his cup is almost full of all the
Yes.
things that he's tried to.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
do in his
achieved
life.
everything he needs to achieve here.
If he decides to pull the pin and just follow her around for the short term, she's younger than him, obviously.
Yeah.
So who knows how that'll end up? But last night, the IPL auction took place. If
Yes.
you're watching the cricket on Fox, you would have seen first of all the Test match, and then they went to the IPL auction.
Yeah, and we know that Ricky Ponting had to, and JL both had to leave their
Jumped on planes.
commentating duties here because for some reason the IPL auction, why would it clash with a test that India are involved in? Doesn't make sense.
So is
They
that,
flew them to Saudi Arabia
Yeah.
to be involved. Saudi Arabia just buys every event.
yeah, what's that? What's
so
the point of that?
this is televised?
Televised,
Oh,
yeah.
wow,
yeah, it's
I've
big.
never known. That would be interesting to watch. I should have watched it.
Yeah, it's they have those paddles,
It's
Nathan,
better,
they just keep
than
putting
the
up
bloody
their hand.
Brownlows or something.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exciting.
So they're just constantly putting up the paddles, it's like that's their bid, and you can see a few of them going
I
at
love
each
that.
other, right? So a couple of them I was watching when Mitchell Starc was up for grabs,
Yeah.
and there was a couple of teams going for him. He went to the Super Giants, I think, in the end.
So talk
I'll come
money.
back to that.
Talk money to us.
He went for $2.3 million, which is a
Nice.
haircut on what he did last season
Oh, it's still
by
not
half
bad.
almost.
Pray for Mitchell. Yep.
Yeah, he. Josh Hazelwood was 2.3. Mitchell
just
Starc
for
was
how long?
2.1.
Yeah,
How long
right.
again?
5.
How long?
It's
They're
about
6
8
weeks, 6 to
yeah.
8 weeks. Young guy Josh Fraser McGurk last
yeah?
year went for like 80 grand or something. This year went for 1.65 million.
Good day for him.
Yep. Rashant Pant, who's the wicket keeper, he's an unbelievable player. He went for nearly 5 million Australian dollars, 8 weeks, as Nathan said, and that was to Justin Langer's team. So he
Oh,
was
yeah.
there at the table.
you
He wasn't
kidding
putting up the bidding, but he was on the table with the owners.
If the players are getting paid this much, are the coaches getting paid this much?
God, they're getting paid a lot. I don't know
They
what
do
a lot
all right,
is.
but they're not getting that sort of
if
money.
You're just getting like $1 million something, payment.
Yeah.
You're playing cricket for 6 weeks, and then after that, it's like someone gives you the keys to a house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a house.
It's like you win
Here's
lotto.
A house.
You-
Yep.
Like you win lotto for
That's
playing cricket
insane.
for 8 weeks.
So Marcus Stoinis, West Australian, he got $765,000. I thought that was unders. Mitchell Marsh was back in the auction,
What did he get?
$620,000 to the Super Giants.
I would have thought he'd be worth more than that.
Well,
Isn't he the cream of the crop at the
his
moment?
first contract was around $1 million.
Yeah.
What's
A
happening
year.
there?
Well, he ducked out for a bit, and then there's other young guys around the world because the whole world
Yeah,
playing
I
in
know,
this.
but,
I know, but he's the
we saw,
bison.
we saw them get up
He's
and
the
do that
bison.
speech where he stepped into his power. We saw.
Here's the Barson. Today, there'll be more people up for action. Paddy Cummings, Australian captain, Travis Head. They were retained by their team. Alex Carey and Josh Inglis, Ashton Turner.
Yes.
There's a couple of WA names. Tim David, he's a WA guy as well. Josh Philippi as well. Those guys are all going on the auction block tonight. I think there's about 20 more.
Yeah.
Australians
So
putting
What
up their
time is
hand
this
up.
on? What's it on?
Yesterday it was on about 5:30, so
Where?
I imagine it might be the same time. You'll be able to see it on Fox Cricket 5:04.
I don't think I have that.
Have you got an update for us, Samuel?
A couple of conflicting figures, but it says a couple 100,000. So,
You're thinking about US dollars.
Yeah, probably
Yeah. Yep.
they're double to us. So,
Yes.
yeah, not bad for 8 weeks, like you said.
Not
Nathan.
bad.
All right.
That's what Sean gets paid here.
For 8 weeks.
Sean Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.